here are a couple of notes. Texas A&M. If you look at really, despite a lot of what they have lost, if you look at who they have coming back on offense, Ainias Smith, who last year had a huge game early against Sam Houston State, a couple of touchdowns and 160-plus yards receiving, then got hurt in the game against Arkansas, and then he was done. They lost Devin Achane, who was their motor, no question. But this guy here is a hell of a player, and A&M slowly but surely seemed like they still have quite a bit of starters back, despite a lot of those who have entered the transfer portal or who are no longer with the team. This is good news for them, and they haven't had a lot of great news.
Yeah, I think he was I don't know where with the NFL draft deadline was a couple weeks ago, obviously, and that's why I was kind of surprised to see this now. I kind of assumed that he was going to just, do it because he had such a severe injury last year. But coming back might be the best thing for him to show what he can do and add into that offense that already has Moose Muhammad and Evan Stewart in it. So that's three good wide receivers for Connor Wigman to move on with. Curious to see what happens with the running game, if that's, Reuben Owens' job to lose right now or who on the roster takes over for Devin Achane. A&M was proceeding probably all year long that they were going to have Ainias Smith and Devin Achane this year anyway, as with the way they went by it. But this is a huge get, especially if he's healthy and can start to regain some of that form that he had, because he was an electric playmaker.
Yeah, I mean, that's big news. I don't know. It's too terribly surprising considering he played in 4 games last year. I mean, he didn't do anything. He got injured early in late September, I guess it would have been, but early in the season, and we didn't see him after that. So, he needed to recover, and I don't know what his draft evaluation would have been at that point in time. But that doesn't really matter now at this point. I mean, he's back in College Station, and so for a program that has had an offseason that's certainly had twists and turns, lots of twists, probably far too many turns for most people's liking. I know that's just kind of how A&M, is sometimes. There's just craziness going on, but that was a little more than even I think anybody was accustomed to, and just you had to wonder, like, okay, what exactly is going on here? Like, what does Jimbo have control of this thing? Is there still confidence in him? Like, what are we doing exactly? And so, it's good to see, the opposite of all the other moves that we saw early on. It's good to see that they've basically grabbed control of the steering wheel and they've got control once again, and they're back on track, it would appear. So, I mean, they're never not going to have talent, but they certainly had an exodus of talent that was expected to contribute for the next, 2, 3, 4 years for them. So to have a guy who's pretty proven and that can really do some good things for you coming back is a big deal for them. So, add in Muhammad and Evan Stewart, and need to figure out some other areas. But they're an interesting team, and this obviously makes them a little bit more interesting.
Evan Stewart is a heck of a player, but Muhammad made some plays near the end of the year that you could just see. Of course, the lineage with his father, a longtime player in the NFL. So that's news for A&M, and they have not had, again, what seemed like a lot of it. And some of the guys who left, by the way, they weren't being asked to come back. Right. So the transfer portal was also part of, you're going to leave anyway, that's fine, but you have to transfer.
Everybody's, portal story is different, and you don't really know how badly it'll affect the team until much later on, especially for guys who were true freshmen a year ago. But with Ainias Smith coming back, it gives them 3 wide receivers with 3 different skill sets. And you thought A&M's offense was bad, in the first few weeks where they struggled to score. It got really bad when he wasn't there.
How about the fact that he was their 3rd leading receiver and he played in 4 games?
Yeah, exactly. So
that's garbage.
Yeah. 3rd leading receiver, he played in 4 games. Also, he's the guy that they did, A-Chain too, but he was their kind of jackknife of like, here's what we're going to do, something special just to get the ball in a super athlete's hands. All the creativity in their offense essentially went out the door when Ainias Smith got hurt.
All right, so